What's up, y'all, and welcome back to some more r/slash real talk stories with your boy RT and my dude Dale. You guys, we're gonna dive into some real talk am I the a-hole stories today, where one of our OPs is being accused of wearing blackface. I want to hear what you guys have to say about the whole situation down in the comment section. And without any further ado, let's dive into our first story today.
My husband, 32, and I, 30, have 3 kids. Female, 5, male, 3, and female. 3 months old. My husband has a 10-year-old sister that practically lives with us. We don't have custody of her right now, but we're working on it. We have her for up to 2 weeks at a time. She'll go home for a couple days, then come back for 2 more weeks. She has a room at our house, and I consider her to be one of my kids. She is the sweetest kid. She never argues, never gets in trouble, absolutely no behavioral issues. She's just a little shy and stays close to us when we're around unfamiliar people. My family has been asking us to visit since we had my youngest, but they don't want my 10-year-old there. I didn't want to start any problems, so I've been saying not now for the past 3 months, but they were really pushing it the other day. So I finally told them that we won't be visiting until my 10-year-old is invited and made to feel welcome. I'm not going to deal with garbage like my bio kids getting presents and not my 10-year-old or her sleeping on the couch when everyone else gets a bed. They want us to compromise and send her to a sleepaway camp so she'll have fun and they don't have to host her. But I refuse. It's all or none. Now they're saying I'm a bad mom to my bio kids for taking away their grandparents because they won't accept a kid that's not even ours as their grandchild. I'm starting to second guess myself and wonder if I am wrong for not letting my kids see my family because they don't accept my 10-year-old. So does my decision make me an a-hole?
Y'all, this OP deserves the Mom of the Year award, in my opinion. I mean, of course, behind my mom is like the best mom out there in the world, deserves like all of the awards. However, this OP deserves great accolades because you know what? This OP could have walked into her marriage, her relationship with her husband, and had resentment towards him, towards her husband's sister because of the situation, because it could have appeared to be a burden on her in some particular way. But no, she took this young lady into her family, brought her in like she was one of her own kids, and is defending her as children should be defended. I think it is quite disgusting of the grandparents, of OP's parents, to decide that, oh, you know, we don't want that young lady around because she's not biologically our grandchild. You know what? There are people out here in this world that I feel are more connected, that are more like family to one another, and they don't have an ounce of DNA that is matched or that is shared. You know, I think it is quite commendable for what OP is doing, and I don't think that OP is the a-hole at all. Honestly, I think OP is doing a fantastic job, and OP, you may not realize it now, but what you're doing and what you have done and what you are continuing to do is being seen and will continue to be seen by this 10-year-old young lady as well as the rest of your children, and they will in turn replicate the kind of kindness and love that you are showing to this young lady, to family and friends and their future children. So OP, kudos to you, not the a-hole. Next story.
I, 19, female, am currently in college and am taking a summer term of courses that are expected to go until the end of this month. My roommate from this past school year moved out at the end of spring quarter a few weeks ago, and I am currently living in my dorm alone. My neighbor Anne is in the room right next to me. We aren't super close, but we talk occasionally. Yesterday I did some shopping off campus, and I saw that Target was selling some face masks. I felt like my skin could use some care, so I bought a charcoal face mask that was supposed to detoxify and purify my skin. That evening, I washed my face and put on the mask. The instructions said to leave the mask on for about 30 minutes until it was dry. So while it dried, I decided to get some other things done while I waited. I stepped outside my dorm room while I still had the mask on and went downstairs to the vending machine to get a soda. When I got down there, Anne was also there. I said hi, and when Anne saw me, she looked horrified. Anne asked me what was on my face. I said it was a face mask. She asked me why I thought that it was okay for me to step outside wearing that. I asked her if there was a problem with my face mask. She said yes, and that it looks too much like blackface. I was taken aback because that was not what I intended at all. I told her that I obviously wasn't trying to do blackface. It was just a charcoal face mask for my skin. Anne said that she didn't care because it looked too much like blackface, and that next time I should stay in the dorm room with that on. She also told me to consider how other people may feel if they saw me wearing that. Anne left afterwards and went back upstairs to her room. Now I am second-guessing myself. I just wanted to wear a face mask and wasn't at all trying to promote blackface, but I can see how it can get mistaken for so. Maybe I should have just stayed in my room. I am a white woman, and I know that blackface has a long and disgusting history, and I don't want to be associated with that at all. Am I the a-hole?
So let me just say this. I do appreciate what Anne is trying to do here. Do I think she went a little bit too far? Absolutely. I think that with just an ounce of common sense, it would be easy to identify this as being a face mask rather than blackface being worn by OP. You know, I think that Anne might be just a little too sensitive to things that have taken place in history. I think it's important for us to remember history. I think it's important for us to know our history. I think it's important for us to remember the disgusting parts of our history. That way we don't turn around and repeat them. However, I think that it's a situation where OP was not trying to be malicious in what she was doing. She just wanted some clean skin, some smooth skin. She just wanted to have her skin taken care of in that particular moment. So I think that there's also a big difference between blackface and a face mask. You know, a face mask is obviously a face mask. I think the situation with blackface, it was extremely exaggerated. The makeup and the way in which that was worn was meant to be exaggerated. A face mask is very simple. It's commonly seen across media and television and all of these places. So I think people should know the difference. Maybe it's a situation where Anne did not know the difference between blackface and this particular charcoal face mask. But I do not think that OP was the a-hole in this particular situation. I'm not even going to say that Anne was either. I do think that Anne should mind her own business. But I think it's a situation where Anne was just trying to be as sensitive as possible. However, I think that sometimes we can be a little too sensitive, and I think sometimes we can also tend to be in other people's business when we have no business being all up in their business. Last story.
My wife, female, 32, and I, male, 36, had our baby boy 2 years ago. When she got pregnant, we made a deal. She will stay with our boy for the first 2 years, and after that we swap, and I will be a stay-at-home dad until he starts school. 2 years have passed, and I will keep my promise and will be out of my job by the end of July, just to get that straight out of the way. My wife has found a new job, but here is where the problem starts. She will make significantly less money than I did, but she seems to be completely oblivious and in denial about it. Whenever the topic was brought up by me, she shrugs it off. When I told her today that we have to reduce our running expenses by a good amount, she got angry and accused me of trying to make her feel guilty and miserable. I didn't do any of this. All I wanted to do was make a mutual decision with my partner regarding our finances. We will have $800 less to spend per month, and that of course means that things have to change. But again, she does not care and does not want to hear anything about it. She called me an a-hole for bringing it up and literally said that I am forbidden to talk about it. She really thinks I want to guilt trip her into staying at home when I already quit my job. I think she is immature and irresponsible. Am I really the a-hole here? Edit. My wife really does want to work. I would have been happy to provide for my family until the end of time, but she is just not into being a stay-at-home mom. The agreement was her idea too. First 2 years with the mother and then me until our boy can go to school. Also, for the people asking why I brought it up several times, I did so because she refuses to talk about spending cuts. And I don't want to know what would have happened if we did not talk about it and plan for a possible change. Edit 2. I brought all of these topics up before quitting my job, and my wife insisted on our deal.
So I think it's a situation where both OP and OP's wife are a-holes in this particular situation. And let me explain why. It's very simple. They have a 2-year-old baby boy. I think that they are both doing this in a very irresponsible manner. Let's just start with OP for a second. I think that it is very irresponsible for OP to have quit his job prior to them having conversation about the potential spending cuts that they would have to make in their household when his wife decides to go and get a job. It could be a situation where she turns around and makes some more money, but I'm almost positive that she knew what kind of job she was going to do prior to him turning around and quitting his job. So I think it's very irresponsible as a father for him to turn around and quit his job prior to having those conversations and prior to her being forced to sit down and have those conversations. If it's a situation where she does not want to sit down and have those hard conversations, have those hard financial conversations, then he should have never quit his job in the first place. That should have been a condition upon him quitting his job. We have these conversations, we figure out all of the details, and then we can transition to the next step. So I think that's where OP is the a-hole. I think he's the a-hole because he just did not responsibly do this correctly. I do not think that he did this correctly. Also, I think the wife is an a-hole because she just was not willing to sit down and have conversation at all. I think that if you are going to do something like this, if you have a child and a child who is helpless and cannot fend or do anything for themselves, provide for themselves, I think you need to go above and beyond the call of duty in trying to figure out what exactly is necessary for the child to survive and for the household to thrive. And you know what? If that means you have to make some hard decisions and have some difficult conversations, then so be it. At the end of the day, it's not for you. It's for the betterment of your children, your child, your family. So again, I think that both OP and OP's wife are the a-holes in this particular situation. But you guys, I want to know what y'all think. You guys, is OP the a-hole in this situation? Is the wife the a-hole in this situation? Is anybody an a-hole in this particular situation? Go down into the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about this particular story and the other ones in this particular video. You guys, if y'all have enjoyed today's video, please take a moment to hit the subscription button, like this video for the YouTube algorithm, and be sure to press the bell notification icon. That way you guys will be notified every time we upload some real talk stories here on YouTube. And until next time, many blessings and much love to y'all.